Okay. Okay. Stop. Now go.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. We'll get into the formal side of things now. Naomi Waters is a really good friend of mine, of which I've known for quite a few years now. And our journey began as friends, and we've kind of went on each other's shoulders over the years and worked together. And Naomi got involved with Doterra about 12 months ago, or maybe longer. And she's been telling me about these essential oils, and I love essential oils anyway, and I always have. And I was into aromatherapy for years ago, for a few years, also when Jane was young, and I looked into essential oils to actually help me with Jane, because Jane had cancer and then ADHD and all sorts of things going on. Aromatherapy really helped me with Jane. So Naomi and I, apart from being friends, had yet another thing in common. So Naomi introduced me to Doterra back in June, and since then I've gone on to really enjoy and love the oils, not just for their scent, but for a lot of the different purposes that they have. My all-time favourite is Clary Calm. But in saying that, Naomi has progressed through Doterra quite quickly, and her passion will be very obvious when you watch her with this workshop. So thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate having you around. And without further ado, Naomi, take it away.
Thanks, Lan. Thanks, everyone, for joining me tonight. I'm going to start off by explaining what essential oils are. A lot of people have probably heard of Doterra now. Back when I started, I think it was about 18 months ago now, I didn't know a lot about essential oils. So essential oils are the roots, leaves, branches, seeds, flowers of the tree, and they're distilled down to become like an essential oil. Now, Doterra is very unique in harvesting their oils because they grow all their plants where they're native, so where they're indigenous. So it makes them thrive better. So if I went and lived in Alaska, I probably would be pretty unhappy. So lemon is native to Sicily, so they grow it there. They grow tea tree in Australia, eucalyptus here. So it just makes the plant thrive. They get more pure oils and a better harvest. They also then use the practices that the locals have been using for like sometimes hundreds of years. And they educate those locals and the people that they're using to harvest the oils. They educate them further to make sure the oils are pure. There's no synthetics used. There's no herbicides, pesticides, or anything like that. It's totally organic. They also educate the wider community. So they'll put in women's health centres, schooling, hospitals, to make sure that that whole community really thrives as well. And then the other thing that makes Doterra really unique is that they use third-party testing. They use Johns Hopkins Medical University in the States, and they test all their oils scientifically. There's so much research done on it. They test it in the body, the blood, the skin cells. They also test for synthetics, all sorts of things like that. No other essential oil company uses somebody else to do that. They will do their own testing, but they might do about 5 tests, where Doterra do about 11. So the pure potency and purity is very well known throughout the world now about Doterra, and that's why they've become a household name just about these days. Essential oils have been around for hundreds, thousands of years. They found frankincense in Tutankhamun's tomb. It still had its aromatic compounds. So they are an old concept, but Doterra has really brought it, up to the forefront because of the potency and purity. When we talk about essential oils, we talk about them being non-specific. Now, non-specific means that they have more than one purpose. So when we look at something like peppermint, one of my favourite oils, we talk about it has more than one purpose, as in it's really good for the digestive system. So bloating, reflux, constipation, diarrhea. So normally we would have 5 different medications for that. And with medications always comes side effects. So when you open a box of synthetic medication, you open a box, a leaflet full of side effects in our body. The reason that essential oils don't really have side effects, you can have a reaction, but there's not the same kind of side effects as you would with synthetic medications, because plants share the same DNA as humans. So when it goes into our body says, oh, okay, I kind of get it. But when we put a synthetic vitamin, any sort of synthetic into our body tries to expel it. So same as on our skin, when we're using essential oils topically, 60% of everything we put on our skin passes through the blood, down through the gut, through the liver. So this is why we're experiencing a lot of toxicity in our lives these days. Gut imbalances are huge. They come out in forms of skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis, asthma, sinus issues, anxiety, depression, autoimmune disease, hormone imbalance, acne. So there's a lot of things related to a gut imbalance. So this is why detoxing our life, getting rid of all these pharmaceuticals if we can. Obviously we can't always do that, but if we can minimize these toxins, our cleaning products, our foods, then we're going to be much better off, and our gut is going to like us a lot more and be a lot more happy. So peppermint I use for headaches as well, just on the back of the neck. It reduces the temperature. When we put Panadol into our system, our body fights the Panadol as well as what it's already fighting for the temperature. So peppermint puts oxygen into the blood. It peps us up, gives us energy. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you're feeling a bit low, a bit of peppermint in the hands and inhale, puts oxygen in the blood. It also gives us 51% muscle endurance. So if you work out, if you do any kind of sport, peppermint is your go-to for your pre-workout kind of thing. None of this caffeine stuff making your heart race. It doesn't make your heart race. It doesn't do the same thing as caffeine. Peppermint is awesome in chocolate too. So yeah, lots and lots of good things for peppermint. Also really good for motion sickness, car sickness, seasickness, all those sorts of things. Hot flushes if you're experiencing hot flushes. So lavender, it's very calming. This is harvested in Bulgaria. It's calming to the mind, helps produce serotonin, calming to the skin, eczema, psoriasis, things like that, with a carrier oil. So something like a liquid coconut oil, which we call fractionated coconut oil, maybe jojoba, olive oil, almond oil, any natural oil we can dilute these oils with. We also cold steam diffuse our oils because when we're breathing in oils, when we're breathing in at all, there's the diffuser Lana's got. So you can knock that over. It's cold. No babies are going to burn themselves. We don't heat oils anymore because it destroys the properties. So what happens when we're diffusing is aromatically we're smelling something. It's going up to the emotional center of our brain, the olfactory, and it's setting off an emotion or a memory. So you know when you smell something, it might be a lamb roast and you might think of your nan's cooking, or an emotion, you smell lemon or citrus, it really picks you up and makes you happy. So this is why essential oils work really well on emotions. They also cross the blood-brain barrier. So we can't get a chemical pharmaceutical to do that because they can't get the molecules small enough, but it naturally occurs in essential oils. So anything to do with the brain, lavender, really, really good for concentration. So getting up onto the brain. It's highly antibacterial. So we clean with lavender. If you're sick and you're diffusing lavender for the kids, it helps put us to sleep. It's really good for anxiety and depression. All skin conditions, mastitis, postnatal depression, dandruff, really good for the skin and the hair. Mozzie bites, sunburn, burns. What it does when you put a drop of lavender onto a burn, it numbs the pain receptors and it speeds the healing process. So you're going to get less scarring and it's going to stop hurting pretty quickly. Lemon is one of my all-time favourite oils. I use so much lemon. It's highly antibacterial, a disinfectant. I use mine in my dishwasher. I only use bicarb soda and vinegar with a few drops of lemon oil. It removes permanent texture. I have had permanent texture on my dining towel from a very small child of mine, and straight away dropped the lemon oil on it and rubbed it with a gentle cloth, and it came straight off. It cleans stainless steel. It cleans the bathroom amazing. It gives a really nice smell. We all know lemon uplifts us. So anyone with depression, lemon is amazing for. It cleanses all of our system, liver, lymphatic system, a sluggish digestive system. One drop in water in the morning helps flush all that bacteria out of our system. When you're squeezing lemon juice into your water, it is really good for you, but when you're drinking it, the acid can erode the enamel on your teeth. You don't get that with lemon oil. It's just taken from the rind. So one drop of lemon oil in water is like having a couple of lemons in your water. It's really good for a hangover. It helps dull that illness. I always have mine when I go to bed after I've had a few drinks, because I'm thinking, right, I can help cleanse all that through the system. When I wake up in the morning, and I might have some more. So yeah, anxiety, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer. If you have a sore throat and you put a bit of lemon oil mixed with your honey also being antibacterial, it's great to get rid of that bacteria and a sore throat. So if there's one oil that, if someone said to you, you can only purchase one oil, that would be frankincense. Frankincense is amazing. It does everything. It works on cellular repair. So all essential oils work on the cells of the body. So I can put essential oils on the bottom of my feet, and essentially they can affect my head, because they travel through the body through the cells. It's not like most medication that's gastrointestinal. It's all through the cells, the blood. Also, they target whatever they want to target. Basically, I feel like in my head that they have their own little brain. So I might be using peppermint for a headache, but it might be like, right, you need this in your digestive system. So it targets the digestive system. Not sure how that happens, but being a natural thing, because essential oils in plants are the defense mechanism of the plant. So when it goes into our body, it works the same way. So it's a defense mechanism against bacteria, fungus, virus. They work that way with plants. They work that way in our body. Now, frankincense is what people use for people with cancer because of the cellular and DNA repair. It helps repair the nucleus of cells. It puts a protective barrier around the membrane of cells. And with disease cells, it helps eliminate any corrupt cells, because when we have like a disease, cells can corrupt other cells. So what frankincense does is help protect those really good cells or eliminate bad cells. Frankincense is a really good antidepressant. It's a high anti-inflammatory, so arthritis, twist your ankle, it helps repair the ankle and bring down the inflammation. Really good for skin conditions. I've got a mole on my chest that I've been putting it on for about 3 months, and it's not as dark as it was, and it shrunk. I've got stage pictures of it. So frankincense, literally, I can't even, you wouldn't even worry. If you could just think, right, I'm not sure what to use, grab frankincense and use it. It's really good on cold sores. I said skin conditions. It's anti-aging. So I use a bit of coconut oil and frankincense around here and around here on my chest every night. Really good for autoimmune disease because of the DNA repair. So if you've got MS, lupus, thyroid issues, any tissue repair, immune support, really good for infections, colds and flu, you name it. It's really good spiritually as well. So if you're kind of intuitive and you want to really tap into that, start using some frankincense. Or if you have a visitor in your house that you don't want, as in that you can't see but you know is there, frankincense helps cleanse your space. So we're going to go to the Aussie tea tree. Love the tea tree. Highly antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic. So we're looking at things like athlete's foot, nail infections, thrush, Good deodorant, really good deodorant, because usually it's bacteria on our skin under our arms that makes us smell when we sweat. It kills airborne pathogens. So if someone's sick in your house and you start diffusing tea tree, it's going to help kill the airborne pathogens. Really good for colds and flu, acne, other skin conditions, burns, mozzie bites. It's a good insect repellent. But I clean with it. Chicken pox, shingles, anything like that. So oregano is what we call a hot oil. We cannot put this on our skin undiluted. It needs to be diluted. So it will burn. It doesn't burn a hole in you or anything like that, but it just like putting chili on your skin kind of thing. So oregano is the highest antifungal of any plant in the world. So when we have candida in our gut, I was talking about the gut imbalance before, that's candida. It's a bacterial overgrowth. What oregano does, it knocks out that bad bacteria. And you'll notice that will happen because you may get some what you call die-off symptoms. So headaches, itchy skin, fatigue, cold and flu, diarrhea. So if you're using oregano, I used it for myself. I made a little capsule and I put a couple of drops of oregano with some olive oil on an empty stomach every morning, and it's going to clear that bad bacteria right out. It doesn't get rid of the good bacteria. You may hear people say that it does. It doesn't. I've still got good bacteria, but you can use probiotics to help pep that up. So oregano gets rid of warts. I'm just going to... Sorry. Oregano gets rid of warts, skin tags, really good for any fungal infections, parasites. So parasites, if we go to Bali or India or somewhere like that, we can get a parasite and we can be using antibiotics. But what happens is the parasite sits up in the digestive system and it goes straight down past the parasite virtually and misses the... I'm just going to turn this off, sorry. Where is it? And misses the parasite altogether. So that's why we can have parasites laying dormant, and after 2 years you've still got a parasite. Oregano, after 10-day treatment, will knock out your parasite. It is really good natural antibiotic. If you've got a cold or flu, diffusing that with your tea tree, ingesting it, diluting it and rubbing it on your body is really, really good. I would use that straight up if I had cold and flu, and I use oregano all the time. It's a good immune support, warming to the body. It's really good for whooping cough, staph infections, any kind of infection whatsoever, muscle aches, nasal polyps, carpal tunnel syndrome, a good anti-inflammatory. So we're going to get into the blends. Our On Guard blend is a blend of clove, eucalyptus, wild orange. It is amazing blend, antioxidant. So we know antioxidants combat free radicals, so all the toxins and things we put into our body. Clove is the highest antioxidant, anything you can get in the world. So On Guard, really, really good for healing a cold sore, really good for colds and flu, antibacterial, really high antibacterial. If you have a sore throat and you have one drop in water, it will numb the throat, but it'll also kill the bacteria. It's really good for the candida in the gut as well because it's antifungal, antiviral, kills airborne pathogens, anti-everything, kills off mold. So most people know that clove gets rid of mold, but On Guard is amazing. So Doterra do a lot of cleaning products and things like that with On Guard. I use it on any surface in my bathroom. It is so good for colds and flu. Immune support, it boosts the immune system. I put it on the kids before they go to school, and I work in preschools. I put it on myself before I work in any preschool because you know you're going to get sneezed on or any of those sorts of things. So wintertime, I couldn't live without On Guard. Easy Air. So we've all used Vicks before. We've all put it on our kids or we've had it put on us. Vicks has petroleum. So this is what is going to replace your Vicks without the toxins. So respiratory support, it's going to open up our lungs, open up our airways, really good for asthma, sinus issues, any breathing issues that we have, snoring, little bit of here, diffuse it at night, put it on your pillow. It works amazing. If this doesn't work, you mix it with some thyme oil, and snoring really, really, like Brad doesn't snore anymore, so that's good. But I discovered that by diffusing Easy Air. So if you've got a cough or the kids have a cough, rub the Easy Air on the chest and it'll knock it out pretty quickly. Diffusing it at night, you know, kids always go to bed and they cough, cough, cough. A couple of drops in the diffuser and they will not cough the whole night. So it's got eucalyptus, tea tree, peppermint, all the really good oils to open up the airways. Really good for bronchitis, influenza, sinusitis, all those. So a lot of us these days experience some digestive issues. So we've got Digessan. This is a blend of anise, ginger, peppermint, all the calming oils to the stomach. We know ginger is really good for motion sickness, and, you know, if you eat ginger, you feel better. So this will combat bloating, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation. So this is basically cutting out half your pharmaceuticals. So like I was saying before, it's saving you money because you're buying one bottle with 250 drops in it and using one drop at a time instead of a pack of Mylanta tablets, 24 tablets, you know, $15, $20. Not only that, the damage that it's doing to the rest of your body, but it works quicker and more effective anyway. My dad uses this. He was on Lozec and he weaned himself off Lozec to use Digessan, and my dad loves his pharmaceuticals. So for him to, like my mum, I used to be at the Chemist Warehouse all the time and she's barely there anymore because his pain medication and all the other problems he's got has reduced. So Digessan, one drop in water or around the tummy clockwise for the kids, down the spine, bottom of the feet, wherever, for all those digestive issues, motion sickness, all that sort of stuff. It really, really combats reflux really well. So we've got Deep Blue. This is the soothing blend. This blend men really relate to for aches and pains, sore muscles, good to massage it into the skin. It comes in a heat rub as well. So some people resonate more with the heat rub than they do with the oil. I like the oil. Really good for arthritis. It's anti-inflammatory. It has healing properties because it's got helichrysum in it. It's got wintergreen. It's really good because wintergreen's good for thinning the blood. So if you're trying to get off aspirin or something like that, take yourself off aspirin and try some ice blue or wintergreen. Ice blue is more for pain, healing, sore muscles, tension, migraines. A lot of us get migraines from the tension in our neck, or we're like this all the time, really tense. Deep Blue is really, really good for that. So I think I've covered all bases. So we know that we can aromatically use our oils in the diffuser. We can smell them by putting them on our skin. So putting them in our hand and inhaling is a great way to use our oils because we're getting them into the skin and we're also inhaling it. So we're sort of double dipping there. And yes, ingesting some of the oils. Now, a lot of people get a bit worried about ingesting the oils. They do have scientific research. They wouldn't just go and say that they could, that you could ingest these oils without actually knowing that you can. They are FDA approved. They have gone through testing and things like that. So I'd probably rather ingest that than some of the stuff that pharmacies sell these days and the FDA puts out and says, yes, you can have that. So, I mean, if they sell Red Bull to kids, surely we can have one drop of lemon oil in our water. I'm still alive. I ingest my oils, but exercise caution. Lots of people are gung-ho, using oils all over them, trying to fix every ailment. Do one at a time. Just work on one thing in the body. You know, use your lemon oil in your water to refresh, and then you might have, say, a thyroid issue, use that as well. But don't go gung-ho and just start using oils all over you. Let your body get used to it. Start by diffusing if you want to, and then you can work your way up to topical application and ingestion, because it's all about caution talk to the person that introduced you to the oils. So if there's anything that you saw here that you loved, you really loved the information, whoever invited you to this online workshop, please talk to them. If you have any questions, I'm about to unmute people now, and you can ask anything you like. Just unmuting. Oh, sorry. I might stop recording as well. So, yeah, thanks for listening in, and feel free to share this workshop with anybody you like. Send it on to anybody, and you may just help somebody.